This is a podcast where we discuss all aspects of personalities and human behavior.
We are three professional counselors and your hosts. I'm Heather.
I'm Amy.
I'm Erin. Welcome to the Personality Pod.
We're recording, just to let you know.
Well, did you guys know that I had a chupacabra in my backyard one time? Do you know what a chupacabra is?
I was going to say, explain to our listeners what that is, because all of us, no, I don't know any idea. I have no idea what that is.
Chupacabra is a mythical or a legend. It's a animal species that has not been ever formally identified as far as I know. I'm talking like I'm an expert in chupacabras, and I'm not. But it usually shows up on all of those shows where it's like fact or faked or mysterious.
It's like
unsolved mystery, not unsolved mysteries. That's crimes. It's
like a Bigfoot,
like
but
a
not a
Bigfoot.
bit. It's not a Bigfoot, but it's a similar kind of story.
It's like a dog,
It's a dog.
wolf, evil being thing.
Oh, okay.
It's got like
It's a
this
Mexican
long
story.
Snout, right?
Oh,
It's got
I was
like
going to say,
long
it has a Hispanic
snout, and
name.
It looks,
It's what you threaten children with in Mexico to go to sleep.
oh,
That
The chupacabra is going to get you if you don't go to bed.
yeah. Like there's
That's horrible.
myths or stories or legends about chupacabras coming and eating like the cattle and eating the chicken, or maybe even getting small children and stuff like that.
Oh, like the
And-
dingo ate your baby type thing.
Right.
Except dingoes
Oh my
are real.
goodness.
Except for dingoes are real, but a chupacabra
Well, yeah.
is like a mythical story. But we had one on our hill. Now, this thing, I have photographic evidence of it because I took a picture of it.
Nice.
And it had a long snout, and it was kind of a grayish color, and it didn't look like fur, but it also didn't look like skin,
Oh,
and it was real creepy like. I will post a picture of it.
yeah.
We are personalitypod.com. That's our website, or on Twitter and Instagram, personalitypod.
Yep.
We'll post a picture of the chupacabra on the hill.
Follow.
Now, since I know the chupacabra is a mythical legend, I did not just sit there and say it was a chupacabra. I decided to do some further research, and I thought, you know what? It feels like it might have been is like a wolf or like a coyote,
Yeah.
just minus his hair. So
It's a Mexican hairless coyote. It's a new breed.
in St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah.
They've migrated. And so I looked up pictures of coyotes with mange,
Oh.
and that's what it was, I think. Which then just broke my frickin' heart.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's why this baby was probably out during the day
Yeah.
and like just on the hill in the middle of a
Oh,
subdivision.
geez.
It's probably sick. It was
And
probably cold and
Well,
dying.
Joey saw some animals in your neighborhood too. What did he see? A bunch of reindeer?
Reindeer. Right.
Reindeer.
So
They
Amy
have
has
migrated too.
Santa's reindeer.
And a chupacabra.
Also known as just deer.
Yes.
There's nothing rainy about them.
No, he
deer.
swears he saw Santa's reindeer.
Oh, that's cute.
That's precious. And it was like the middle
and
of
the
the summer.
groundhog.
My groundhog.
He says they were on vacation.
That's oh, they
St. Louis,
vacation
Missouri.
in St. Louis.
In my subdivision.
They're so disappointing. That's a bummer.
Hey, there's a lot to see here. Those reindeer wanted to see the arch in the middle of the day and not
the
flying.
new Busch Stadium. It's fabulous. It's really good. No, actually, in our neighborhood, we've got some creeks and
You
little
have some reindeer
areas.
too.
No, no reindeer. We got some bucks that are hanging out. But as I was pulling out of the neighborhood on the sidewalk, there was a groundhog that it could have like fought my dog. I'm telling you, this guy was big.
It was Ruby.
He was Ruby sized. No.
Ruby's my pug. She does remind me a lot of a groundhog. We've got a groundhog that lives on the same hill that the chupacabra was sitting. And it is so fat. I mean, I bet I've never picked it up. Although
Have
I
you
would love
wanted
to.
to? Yeah.
I would love to hold him for the day. I suspect he's probably 35 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
I bet.
Are groundhogs supposed to be that big?
I mean, I think
I
that
don't
we
know.
have a cute image of them, but I think that they're hefty little monkeys.
So you have a groundhog in your neighborhood too?
He was hanging out on the sidewalk. He was sitting on the sidewalk. And at first, I'm in my car, so I couldn't get like a really awesome image of this guy. But as I'm pulling up behind it, I was like, it was right around sunset. And I was like, oh, is that a raccoon? That's a huge raccoon.
Oh, it's a pug.
And then as I came around, like went past its face, I saw its little gigantic nose and like just the nose, no snout, of course, but the little nose. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a groundhog. Look at the size of that guy. Like, he was perfectly content. He had found something to munch on and he was just sitting there nibbling away. And I saw joggers coming by and I'm like, should I warn them? Like, is this guy going to attack or is he just going to clomp? He'll just do his little waddle off like, no, geez, here they come.
We're gonna yell out of the window or flash your lights like
Yes.
police groundhog.
Yes. Oh gosh.
Well, you guys, I could be wrong about my estimation because according to National Geographic,
She looked it up.
an average adult groundhog weighs about 13 pounds. But I swear to goodness,
Amy's is 35. She feeds it.
What's their lifespan too? I feel like that groundhog's been on your hill for about 10 years.
Well, it might be the third generation, but we don't know. We didn't tag it.
Could be. And it, maybe it's pregnant. I don't know. But it looks like Ruby, and Ruby is a good solid 28 pounds, and she's a pug. And this groundhog,
Ruby
I'm
is
telling
28
you,
pounds.
looks bigger than Ruby.
Oh.
So that's where I came up with the 35 pounds, but maybe it was like 13.
That's
I don't
how
know.
big
The
my
groundhog I
toddler
saw
is. 35 pounds.
I was going to say Claire weighs 36 pounds and she is 5. Now, she is a tiny 5-year-old, but that's a pretty big groundhog. But I'm telling you, the one I saw out there when you said 35, I was like, maybe he is 35 pounds. I don't know.
Well, an average, oh, golly. This says an average little groundhog lives about 6 years. And then this website, wildlife removal website,
Oh,
I know, says that they only get to about 8 to 10 pounds. So maybe I underestimated
yours is
my
a beaver.
groundhog.
Maybe he's a
Maybe he's
gigantic
not a beaver. He does
tailless
not have a beaver. He's
All right.
not
He
a
doesn't
tailless
have a beaver.
It doesn't matter.
You got to stop feeding that groundhog.
We don't have a beaver. We have a groundhog. I am convinced of it. I love it.
He
It's
is
my
so
spirit animal.
Yeah.
It's a 35 pounder. It should be in the Guinness Book of World Records. End of story.
And he is safe and lives in his wooded area behind Amy's house. It's lovely.
He comes out to soak up the sun and then goes back in his dark hole to eat food. Come on. Come on.
Spirit animal.
My dream life. It will get some sun.
Aaron, do you have a spirit animal?
I don't know if I have a spirit animal. I mean, I'm
Everybody has a
sure I
spirit
do.
animal.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to give mine some thought because I think I have in my mind what I want it to be.
What
But
do you
in
want?
You think you're a
reality-
tiger, but you're actually a
Otter, maybe.
Oh, I don't know.
You do love otters.
I do
You've
love
loved them
otters.
forever.
Otters are so amazing.
I kind of think you are an otter.
I love that they are carnivorous. Like that to me, there is something about that cute little animal, but he still eats meat.
And they
I'm
love
like,
to play with their friends
they
and
play,
toys.
they hold hands when they sleep so they don't float away from each other. They are pack animals.
That is so sweet.
And one of my other favorite things, they're very resourceful because they eat
are
their food.
resourceful.
They go down every day to the bottom of their little pond, stream, whatever you want to call it, and they get one of the river rocks and they tuck it under their armpit for the rest of the day and they hold it there so that whenever it's time to eat, like whenever they need to crack their little clamshells, they just pull it right out from under their armpit, crack, and then pop it right back in. It's like their own little tool belt. I love otters.
You're an otter.
you are.
And they're
You are very resourceful.
fuzzy and cute. Yeah, there's just something about them that just makes my heart happy. So I'll take otter.
Are you still sticking with the skunk, Heather?
Yeah,
I'm
Mama
still
skunk.
skunk
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Why?
because I'm a badass.
You're
Oh.
cute. You kind of walk in looking all innocent.
I mean, if you didn't know what a skunk was, you see it. They are cute.
They're
cute little
adorable.
animals.
Especially when they have their little babies with them and the mama's walking and the babies are coming.
They
It's
got
a
their
precious
big old
thing.
bushy tail.
They're super
They're
cute.
so cute.
They're very
and white.
fashionable.
Yep. They're black and white.
Very fashionable.
They don't go looking for trouble. They will run away. But if you back them into a corner, they will spray you.
They will spray your ass.
They will spray you, and you'll be sorry that you messed with them.
That's right. And everyone else will know you messed with them.
They will be wearing that shame for a long time.
That's right.
But they'd rather just be cute and fluffy in the corner. They don't.
Yeah,
they don't want to spray you.
No, that's not fun for them.
That's true.
When we were on a cruise ship when I was a teenager, and the magician used a skunk rather than a rabbit to pull out of his hat. And so he would let you hold his skunk because it was
De-skunked or whatever.
Deskunked.
It had
its gland,
anal
was
gland.
removed. And
Isn't it in their butt?
they are so freaking cute. Like, its little face is adorable.
They're cute.
And he was very sweet, and he was a little bit more coarse than what I pictured, but he was still very soft, and I loved him. He was super awesome. I have a picture of me holding a little skunk.
Well, we've got a skunk, an otter, and a groundhog.
Yay.
There are websites where you can go and take a quiz to find out what formally is your spirit animal.
Ooh, how fun.
Ooh, I've done it before, and it says I'm an owl.
An owl, you're wise and nocturnal.
A nocturnal. I don't know.
You're not nocturnal, are you?
Not at this point in my life.
Your eyes take up the majority of your head. Like, that's all I know about it. They have huge eyes. I know. I've learned this. Owls, they're known to be wise old owls, but actually their brains are pretty small and their eyes are gigantic and take up the majority of their melon.
Well, you can find out what yours is. Just Google it.
Google it.
I'm not putting
spirit animal.
I'm not endorsing any particular website because I haven't found one that gave me the groundhog as my spirit animal, and that's the one that talks to my soul. So.
That's true.
And I picked the skunk for myself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Me too. Just like we all just did. So, pick your own.
Pick
spirit
your
animal.
own and figure out why and own
Tell
that
us
sucker.
what yours is and why.
Yeah.
I want to hear all about it. It's fun.
Own that sucker.
It is fun. Can I give you guys a quick update?
Yes.
Since the Exorcist video, episode. Hold on.
Not the video.
Since we've recorded the exercise,
Amy's purring.
La, 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 la. Okay. Since we recorded the Exorcist episode,
Yes.
I've been doing a lot of inside work.
Okay.
Hold on. I'll get serious for just a second, and then we'll do a conversation starter.
conversation
So
starter.
we can start talking. Okay. Well, you know what? I have realized through my yoga practice that there are 7 chakras in your body. And your root chakra, your most primal base chakra, is about security.
Yes.
And if that one is out of alignment, everything's going to be out of alignment from there. And we were talking a lot about, like, gosh, what could give me a sense of safety? What does that 9-year-old girl need? What would help me put all that stuff behind me? And so I was like, yeah, my sense of security, my sense of basic safety has never really been there, So
It's like you talk about, why do I feel anxious all the time?
right.
Yeah.
So I've been focusing on doing a lot of grounding exercises, first of all, which means going outside in my bare feet,
Oh.
standing on the earth. And I've been turning just my face to the sun because the sun brings me a lot of strength and peace, and I love the sun. Yeah. So I'm doing a lot of standing outside. My sankalpa, which is the thought or the idea that I've been repeating to myself over and over and over again to, like, plant the seed in my subconscious.
Ooh, like a
is
mantra.
Kind of like a mantra. I've been doing it for the past 30 days, and it is, I am safe in this moment. And I've been repeating it so much that I'm actually believing it. And I'm using it a lot. I took some of your words, Heather, about, like, what does that 9-year-old need?
Yeah.
And I've been asking that. So I've had some powerful moments by myself.
Yay.
Where I have had an image of myself at that age, like after the nightmare, when I had a nightmare the next day about being possessed and stuff like that. And where I, the adult Amy, have gone in, and I can, like, imagine, like, hugging the small version of me and giving the sense of safety and the security and the nurturing words and all of that kind of stuff. And I've done that over and over and over and over to where now when I go into that kind of meditative state and I kind of check in, I have imagined myself coloring, which was something that I used to love to do. I used to win the coloring contest at my school. I was in the yearbook. I won a silver dollar, and my picture is in the yearbook holding my coloring page.
Yeah.
I won, like the grocery store would have a coloring contest. Do y'all remember those things when they used to do that?
Yes. My father was the manager of a grocery
So
store,
you
and
couldn't
I was
participate.
not allowed to participate.
Oh, you would have won too because you
used to just
I experimented with sometimes, on the image you could outline it real bold, but then do it soft shading on the inside.
yeah.
Anyway, coloring, I've pictured myself dancing, just laughing and having very nice, happy moments. And now I'm trying to get to the point where I'm just taking it in. I'm trying to integrate it, I guess is the right word.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's not, oh, there I am over there coloring and safe and it's in me.
It is part of you.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm still doing some work and it's going to take a little bit of time, but I just want to let you know that I'm working real hard.
There is
I'm getting a
progress.
real solid root chakra.
Oh, good.
And I'm trying to feel grounded and secure. One of the side effects or one of the symptoms, if your root chakra is not balanced, is overeating.
Oh.
Because that gives you feelings of comfort and okay, I'm safe. If I'm eating, I'm safe. You know what I mean? Because if you are stressed out or fearful,
If I weigh more, it is harder for me to be kidnapped.
well, there's that too.
So
I think
save
that
your
I'm
life
doing
and
that
eat
right
cake.
now.
Yeah. You are so much harder to kidnap when you're heavier.
It's so fascinating because I was thinking about when I was in graduate school to become a counselor, I worked with children who had been abused. And my supervisor was a great psychologist, so fascinating. One of the things that resonated with me that I have held on to remember is that children who are abused often do not have what a healthy child has their parents say from when they're teensy tiny little infants saying, "You're okay, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay," in a variety of fashions. If you're holding an infant and they're upset, it is almost instinctual to rock them and say, "Shh, you're okay.
It's okay. It's all right. I'm here."
Anyways, children who are severely abused often do not have that experience where their parents are telling them that over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
They get hurt. Nobody's there to say that.
Oh.
And what happens for a healthy person is that voice gets internalized, that I'm okay. I'm not saying that anything like this happened to you, Amy, but I think it's so interesting that, if that chakra's off for whatever reason, whether it's because of parents in the case of the children that I work with, or seeing some image that makes you feel unsafe, being able to integrate that voice that's telling you you are okay,
You are safe.
is critical. It is absolutely critical.
And you're working on it and you're seeing progress.
I am.
That's amazing.
And so I feel like when that gets in balance, when I finally, and I already feel it, it's getting better and it's becoming more natural for me just throughout the day. I'm just repeating it. If I'm feeling anxious or even if I'm feeling totally fine, I'll just remind myself, hey, you are safe in this moment. There's nothing to be afraid of. I'm not saying I'm an overweight, obese person or something like that, but I know that food has been something for me my entire life, more so than alcohol or drugs or anything like that. That has been the distraction
tool.
that I've turned to. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful that as I continue to get myself in balance, that I will really hopefully get to the point where I'm just eating for hunger, or I'm eating intentionally because I enjoy this food and I'm going to savor it and I'm going to really take care of my body in a different way than I ever have. So thank you. That was the Exorcist update, and
That is very
to be
cool.
determined as it goes along. I'll let you know. But
Very cool.
Love it.
Me too.
That's a good one.
Shall we do a conversation starter now so we can
Yeah.
actually
Yeah,
start
can we
talking?
start talking, please?
I know we don't know how to start talking. You want to pass it to Heather?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, it's my turn?
It's your turn.
Pull a
right.
good one.
Here we go.
No whammies.
What's a whammy?
I don't know.
It was a show. That
Oh,
was
the
a,
Joker's
it was a
Wild?
game show, and it was no
Joker's
whammies, no
Wild.
whammies, no whammies. I don't remember. Was it Joker's Wild?
Oh, okay. You guys ready?
Ready.
Who wants to answer this one first?
Amy's going first.
Okay, Amy. Do you believe dreams have meanings?
Oh, this one's deep for you.
Well, this is yes. What's the next question?
Do you want to say any more?
No. Moving on.
Okay. I do believe dreams have meanings. I do believe that that you are the knower and the only one that can know what your dreams mean for you. I do not believe in the books of dream interpretation that say, if you dream of a white dove, it means this. If you see water, it means that. If you're blah, blah, blah. I don't believe that. I think that what you dream about is a representation of either what's going on in your life right then or what's going on in your subconscious at that time. I really oftentimes disregard like the actual events that are taking place and go more towards what kind of feelings did it bring up in me? You know, was I frustrated? Was I scared? Was I elated? And I think that those feelings that come up in my dreams are usually so. For example, because I am terrified of heights, if I'm feeling particularly anxious or scared or nervous or worried about something, oftentimes I will be standing on the ledge of a skyscraper in my dreams.
Oh, wow.
And I'm teetering and I'm about to fall. Or another one is like driving straight up the side of a mountain and like the car or the truck is like losing its grip
It's traction.
and it's going to like flip backwards or fall off the side of the mountain.
How in the world did you survive that drive up to the zip lines in Costa Rica?
Did you see me? I had tears flowing out of my eyes uncontrollably. I was almost having a panic attack.
Full panic
and I
attack.
just had to close my eyes and grip the side. My arm hurt for like 3 days afterwards because I gripped so tight to the side of the truck.
Have you had height dreams since that experience? That real experience?
Of being able to
Yes.
conquer that fear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is still, I do feel more strong and believe that I can face height situations with more confidence. And I have done some scary things since then, like the Paris.
Yeah.
Parasailing.
Is that what
Yeah.
it's called?
Parasailing.
Yes.
Parasailing.
Yeah.
Okay. But yes, I've had those dreams. It's still my number one fear is heights.
Okay.
Besides being possessed by the devil.
Well,
But that goes without saying.
okay, that's a pretty,
I'm working on that.
that's a pretty standard one.
Okay, sorry. All right.
All right.
Who else has an opinion
Erin?
about dreams?
I don't remember my dreams very well. I just don't. I think it's an ADHD thing. Truly, I don't think I go into REM sleep very much. So I don't remember a lot of my dreams, but I have gone through this whole big, oh, your dreams mean this. And I've looked at the books, that tell you all of these things. And actually, Amy, you were the one that had said, I think it has more to do with your feelings. So I've paid more attention to that. And that seems to resonate more with me. So do I feel that your dreams have meaning? I believe is what that question said. And in my opinion, I guess the basic answer is yes, but I don't feel like anything in the dream is going to make a big difference. I think it just brings your subconscious out of what is really going on. So the feelings you have in the dream are probably feelings that you're experiencing right now. I agree with that. So if it is fear, if it is anxiety, if it is happiness, I feel like those do carry on when I remember my dreams. I rarely remember my dreams. So what about you?
Heather?
Yeah, I definitely think they have meanings. I just had an image, a flash of that little kid movie where Phyllis from The Office is depression. Come on, Aaron.
yeah.
You have
Oh,
little
Inside
kid.
Out.
Inside Out.
Yes.
Where they're like deep down in the subconscious and they're putting stuff on her dreams.
Oh.
Anyways, whatever. It's a cute scene.
Right.
I definitely think dreams have meanings. I had a dream. I don't always remember my dreams either, but about 2 weeks ago, I had a dream that was so powerful. I am really scared of somebody breaking into my house. That is
Okay.
like one of my biggest fears.
Oh.
Is this something you should say it in a place like this. Nobody make my bad dream come true.
Don't be an asshole.
Break into your house.
No, we're
I
good.
have been scared of that for
Do you think
ever.
somebody's going to listen to this podcast and
You
say,
better not.
Oh, there. You know what? I had never thought of this until today, but I'm going to find Heather and I'm going to break into her house tonight.
My favorite thing was just that Heather tried to sound tough there. And she's like, you better not. Please
do it.
don't. I will be scared.
I have mace. Anyways.
No, that's not going to
I
happen.
am terrified of that. I have been scared of that for a long time.
Okay.
So my dream 2 weeks ago, I had a dream that somebody broke into my house. I don't know who it was because I woke up with like in the sweats.
Ooh.
And I was trying
Sexy.
Oh yeah. I was trying to see who it was, like in my recalling of the dream. I don't know who it was, but it
I
was
don't think that
somebody.
was
I was so scared, and I was getting ready to run from the scary bad person that broke into my house. And I turned around and I stomped over to them like a mom. And I grabbed him by the face like you would when you're really pissed off. I don't do this to my children.
Yes.
We're not talking about a child. We're talking about a bad man that's
Bad
broken
man.
into your
But
home.
I did a mom move.
Yeah.
Bad, angry mom move. I grabbed the bad man by the jaw.
Oh.
I was like, my boyfriend will get you.
Oh. Damn it, Heather. And he will be here in about
better
15
go.
minutes.
I don't really remember.
That is hilarious. Not, I will rip your fucking eyes out.
I don't really
I
remember.
know someone who could hurt you.
And I tried to kill him with my eyeballs, with my ferocious look.
Here's the evil eye.
Here's the evil eye.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
I woke up. It was just really interesting to me. And I woke up. I was like sweating when I woke up. Like seriously, like I was sweating and there was so much fear, but I also felt so powerful. That I
Good.
turned around and grabbed, like, can you imagine that
Grabbed this man
situation?
by
and
the
I
jaw.
was giggling because I was thinking, like, can you imagine if somebody breaks into your house, you go over and you grab, like, stomp over
Grandma
and grab
stomp
them.
right up to you.
Squish their cheeks real hard
Yep,
to their
yep,
lips
yep.
get.
My boyfriend is
What
gonna
do
get you.
think you're doing? This is rude. You scared me. My boyfriend will
What
do
do you
something.
think? What does it mean?
I think I do have a lot of fear, a lot of scary things going on. And as we talked about in a previous episode, my boyfriend does work for the police. So I think I do find a lot of security and peace in that. But I also, when I was thinking about, like, he wasn't in my dream. It was me.
Yeah.
And I think I felt like a sense of power that I turned around and grabbed that person by the face instead of ran.
Yes.
I didn't shout it back. I stomped over.
You stomped on over.
Right.
So I felt like scared when I woke up, but then I felt like overwhelmed with pride, which is so weird.
I
when you're
think
talking
that's-
about
that's right.
dreams.
I think that, yeah, based upon the feelings you had, I mean, clearly it was fearful, but at the same time, there was a sense of being able to own that fear and still face it. That's huge.
Yeah. So I think it is reflective of things that are going on in my life. And I think dreams can be. I do think sometimes they are like inside out where you just have different things, different experiences that happen in a day and your brain is trying to consolidate memory and
Organize it.
put things in their place. So I think that there is just a sheer biological component of dreams.
Yes.
But I think that they also have deeper meaning sometimes too.
Yeah.
And that dream for me had a lot of meaning. So, yeah.
That's cool. I love it.
Yes. When I was little, my favorite dreams were flying dreams. There was just something very freeing about them. And I had mentioned that to my children, and my older daughter the other day said, I stole your flying dream. I said,
funny.
You did? And she said, oh, yeah, I was flying all over the place.
Did she like it?
She loved it.
That's
Oh,
interesting
yes.
because I thought you were going to say she's a more cautious child. So I would have thought that she would not like that feeling.
No, she absolutely loved that feeling of flying and being able to. She was explaining it as her launching pose, where she would like bend her knees to get ready to jump, And I said, there came a point in my life, I think I was probably in adolescence or early adolescence, where that was my nightmare, was that I had been flying throughout the dream and in a really good place where I had been flying. And all of a sudden, in the moment where I had to fly, I couldn't. That I was in my launching position, ready to go, and I could not get in the air. And then I would wake up. Like that would be the ultimate fear, which I'm sure was, loss of control type thing. But I didn't tell her about that part yet. I hope she doesn't have that dream.
She might not.
But I do love that. I stole your flying dream. Like I was the only person that had ever had it. And clearly now I have passed it on to the next generation.
Cute. That's super cute.
It was very cute.
I love flying dreams.
Oh my
I
God.
have
Really?
them regularly. And I am a cautious person and I am
Petrified of heights.
Petrified of heights, but it's the takeoff. It's and I know exactly what you're talking about because I have this image in my mind of like where I kind of lean forward and then I
Yeah. Your chest goes up and you are
Give it, and
just
you
like
just
pushing off the ground.
blast off the earth.
Yes.
And that is amazing. I love that feeling when I have those dreams.
Yeah. Flying dreams are my fave.
I've
Heather,
never
you don't have them.
I've had falling dreams, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
freaking
Yeah.
horrifying.
That's the opposite of a flying dream.
Yeah.
That's a scary one.
That's fear based right
So
there.
I guess no
Try
flying.
having a flying one. Let's
I'll
put
try.
it into your subconscious right
Okay.
now. Let's give her a flying
Find
dream.
your launching
Yes.
position. You'll get comfortable with it. You'll know
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Love
Okay.
it.
Okay. What are we doing today?
What are we doing? I think
Well,
we're
we
doing
were
love
talking about
languages.
doing the love languages.
Yeah.
But okay, this is kind of hefty. How long have we already been recording? I feel like we've already been going, and now we're gonna.
We'll give it a shot.
Okay.
All right. We're not going to go big into the whole identity of where the love languages came from and blah, blah, blah. We're going to kind of hit on each one of them and ours in particular and then ask you guys some questions and see what you do with yours.
Yeah.
Cool.
5 love languages is one that I learned from Oprah Winfrey.
Your hero?
Your hero.
Have you heard of her?
You love her.
And
Was Gary Chapman on or something?
Oh, yeah.
Gary Chapman has been on Oprah, and I feel like it was a long time ago. But
Well, it's an old book.
Yeah. I learned it in I learned about it in graduate school.
and that was a long time ago.
Well, a little bit,
I think
unfortunately.
it's even older than that.
Yeah.
But he talks about there's 5 different ways that you express love and that you experience love. And so there's this quick little quiz that you can take online. It's totally free. And by the end, it'll rank the 5 different ways that you can experience and express love. It'll rank it for you. What is your strongest one to your weakest one? And it can tell you a lot about yourself. But if you and a partner, this is meant for romantic relationships. This is not like mother-child or even friendships. This is romantic relationships, how you express and feel intimate love. And you can take this and learn about each other. It helps you have some insight into why you do the things you do and why your partner does the things he or she does for you, and how you can have better communication. It's fun.
I love it.
It's fun. Just a really cool test, I think.
We'll put the link on any of our social.
Right. The website and then Twitter and Instagram. You can find everything on Personality Pod. Do you want to say like what the test is like what kind of questions it asks? Does somebody want to explain that?
Heather?
Well, it gives 2 choices. So it asks questions like, would you rather receive a gift or spend an hour with your partner? So some types of questions like that. And you have to choose. There are several questions. So they're not all as straightforward as what I just said.
No, but I think they all teeter on that same idea that one of them has to do with the different love languages. Which one do you prefer over the other? And they ask them in different ways, but
They do ask them in different ways.
Yeah.
It's not long. It's real fast.
And it's, again, one of those where you just go with your gut instinct. So
That's the
no
best.
agonizing over it. And
Yes.
like, oh my God, well, I'd love to get a gift, but an hour sounds great too. Which one sounds better
Right.
instinctually? And then by the time you're done, it'll tell you what your top love language is. There's
It
5
ranks them
of
in order. Yeah.
Yep.
And as much as these are based on intimacy with your partner, I do believe a lot of these can be used across the board in all different kinds of relationships. I mean, clearly, like one of them is physical touch. That does not necessarily mean sex. We'll get into that. But my husband has actually used this in ways of helping him be a better manager to people, basically just so that he can show them how he can appreciate them, that they can receive better. So I love the idea that you can apply it in other areas. It's definitely not the good basis for, like you said, friendships and things like that, but it can be used in other ways.
Well, there's 5 different love languages. Should we just say we'll say these quickly?
Yeah, just same.
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds good.
One is quality time. And this is pretty straightforward, but
I
this
think
says,
all of them are pretty straightforward.
and this one says, nothing says I love you like full undivided attention. Being there for this type of person is critical. Like turn off the TV, put down your phone, look me in the eyeballs, and let's spend some time together. So the opposite of doing those things can be very hurtful. So if you don't show up for a planned date or something like that, if you're distracted, if you're not paying attention while you're together, that can be very hurtful. But meaningful conversations and doing quality activities together is pretty important.
Absolutely.
Physical touch, as you mentioned, is not necessarily about sex, but needing to hold hands or a touch on the shoulder or
Even being near each other and just having your legs touching or when you're in bed and you scooch over and you feel your foot against their foot and you're like, there you are.
There you are. Your partner just reaches over in the car and puts their hand on your leg.
Yep.
Something like that. That can be a really big deal for people.
I saw a photo not too long ago of the royal family. They're not really supposed to do PDA in public. Keep it to a minimum. And Kate Middleton put her hand on the inside of her husband's thigh.
That a girl.
Ooh.
Down by the knee, I hope.
I hope
It was
not.
kind of mid thigh. I think. I mean,
That's intimate too.
yeah.
They got 3 kids. We all know this is happening. Good for you.
But
for
she
you.
did it in a public setting but obviously, little physical touch seemed to be important to her in that moment.
Right.
I'm so inappropriate. You're like, obviously little. And I was like, little William?
Stop it, little Willie.
Little Willie.
Little William was very pleased as well. Look at that. That's awesome.
His face was like, ooh.
Good.
She busted up the protocol.
You keep that going. I love it. Another one of our 5 is words of affirmation. So this one is actions don't always speak louder than words. So you definitely want to say positive things to your partner, wonderful things that show you that you appreciate them, that they're working hard, that you acknowledge what they are doing in the relationship. So words of affirmation.
That one can be about beauty too, or like attractiveness and
Compliments.
those sorts of things.
Compliments.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Thank you. Compliments.
Yeah, absolutely. So words
Your
of affirmation.
hair looks lovely today.
Thank you, Heather.
Oh, look at that. I've just witnessed intimacy. It was lovely. No. So then we've got
Acts of service.
service. This
I-
is
That's low on mine, and I think that's wrong. If somebody
you
wants
mean?
to vacuum my house, I will love you forever.
I think they all are important. I don't think in any way that if people showed you necessarily these love languages, that you would dismiss them. But I think if someone is only doing that for you, if someone is only vacuuming your house, Heather, you're not going to be feeling the love. At least not for very long.
Not for long. So,
So-
acts of service are things like I've said, vacuuming the house or picking up groceries or any nice thing that you could do to make somebody's life easier.
Yeah.
Picking up the kids on Friday when you wouldn't normally, those sorts of things.
Intentionally doing something with the other person in mind.
Right.
That I will do this not because it has to be done. Oh, the grass is too long. I have to cut it. But this would mean a lot to my partner if I did this today, so I'm going to get it done. That's an act of service.
Right. And the final one is receiving gifts. This doesn't necessarily have to be materialism either. It could be gifts of love or thoughtfulness. It says, I'm reading from this, a perfect gift or gesture shows that you are known, you are cared for, you are prized. So the opposite of that is if somebody misses your birthday or your anniversary, or just throws together some sort of hasty gift or something like that, that would be very hurtful to a person whose top love language is receiving gifts.
Yeah.
So all of these things on their own are lovely. Like if you just sat down and read each of these, you would love to be told that you are beautiful and that you are loved. You would love to receive a nice gift. You would love it if somebody just out of nowhere ran some errands for you to make your life easier. You would love it if the person that you love embraces you in a warm hug and holds your hand just because they want to be near you. And what are the and if somebody quality time.
Quality time.
Which is my number one. And I was like, what else
What
is
is
left?
it? What else
Quality
is
time. Having a deep conversation with somebody that you love. Each of these on their own is beautiful and lovely. And you value all of these. Even though one is going to be ranked lowest, they are still important to every single human being, but just in a different order and with more weight. Like some of them are going to be far more powerful for you and some are going to be less powerful for you. So the quiz kind of ranks it for you and tells you what is your top one, what is your lowest one. And so you can know that about yourself if your partner takes it too. This is where I think it can be so helpful and why we as counselors oftentimes recommend this quiz to almost any couple that comes in to see us, because it can clear up so much misunderstanding and confusion. So if a dude is like, man, I took out the trash and I went to the grocery store and I mowed the lawn, and what more do you want? Like I go to work and I bring home the money. What more do you want? And the wife is saying, but I don't care about acts of service.
That's my lowest love language. Yeah.
Acts of service is my lowest one. Those are just your chores as a husband.
I want your quality time.
I want your quality time.
Yeah.
Or I want words of affirmation. I just want you to tell me that you still love me. I want you to tell me I'm still attracted to you. Or I want you to massage my back without expecting anything
in return.
You know, it can...
Gentlemen. No,
let's switch it around though. But it could just clear up a whole lot of communication issues and confusion. And also it can give you a pathway towards expressing love to your partner in a way that will feel like love to your partner.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And some of these might not be natural. You know, like for me, gifts is 0. So if I were with 0,
wow.
If I were with somebody that was really important to them, that would be really hard for me. I would not really know how to do that very well.
You mean you wouldn't know how to give them a gift, or
Not
you wouldn't
really.
know how to receive the gifts?
Probably both.
A little bit
but
of both.
I think what would probably be more important with somebody like that is trying to figure out how to show them love.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't even know, so buying random stuff that's unnecessary and impractical, that would be incredibly difficult for me.
I think the key would be to not present it that way. Yeah, I think the key, if you give it to someone and you're like, I just got you all this crap, then I don't think they're going to feel the love.
I don't think it's buying random crap.
I know, but I'm just saying that's
to
how
Heather
I would feel about it. So I would have to try to adjust what's super cool on 5 Love Languages on the website. You can get emails from them about your partner's love language that give you some instruction about how to do that.
Huh.
So
I didn't know that.
If you do have a partner that has something that's very different from yours, you
Very
can
foreign.
get when you're at the store, just pick up something small that lets them know you are thinking of them.
Yeah.
I would need that kind of direction.
That reminder is very helpful for that.
I think my mom's biggest one is gifts.
Yeah.
She's a huge gift giver, and it's oftentimes very small things. Like I saw this little hand towel that's got a Day of the Dead on it, and I know you love that, so I picked it up for you because I thought
sweet.
of you. Or sometimes it'll be, she picks up dog food Because she'll say,
It's
hey,
on
I
sale or
found these
something.
were on sale. I know your dogs love this kind. I picked this up for you. Or she'll drive through and, I know tonight was your late night. So that could potentially be an act of service, but it's more about she will bring food. You know what I mean?
I really like that. I admire it. I just don't know how to do it. It's very hard for me. My former mother-in-law would always bring little gifts for holidays.
Yeah.
Like little bags full of Halloween candy or little tiny Valentine treat or whatever for the kids. And they just loved it so much.
Right.
It's not expensive, but I don't think like that, but they appreciated it so much. I do
they
like
were like
that.
Our mom has never done this. This is amazing.
That's something I think that I need to work on overall, because I think lots of people appreciate that. Even if that's not their top language, it's 0 for me. So I'm really, really
Not even on your
what
radar.
was your highest?
I'm not
Heather has
skilled at
4.
this.
Heather has 4 love languages. There's not even a 5th one there. Well, and one thing that we haven't mentioned, you tend to show love in the love language that is ranked highest. You tend to receive and show love in the same way, which is not always the same as your partner's. So usually the guy who is taking out the trash and mowing the lawn and doing the dishes, his love language is acts of kindness. And so in his mind, he is showing love by doing those things, but that does not necessarily mean that it's received that same way. So, yeah.
Heather, what was your highest?
Physical touch.
Okay. So talk about that.
Absolute highest.
Oh,
I'm not really sure what there is to say about that, except that I really do appreciate, I think that I'm like Kate Middleton, and I like the hand on the knee or hand on the shoulder. And Amy, you mentioned to me before that when you've been around,
sorry, my mind went dirty again. Sorry, there we go. I'm okay.
Little Willie.
Yeah.
When I'm around my kids, you mentioned to me before that I'm always, touching their back, or my daughters both, I just love touching their hair. They're getting to the age where they might not appreciate that at some point, but I do. I love hugging on them and being near them. And even if I'm not touching them, I really like, if they're sitting on the sofa, I'll sit right in between them, even though there's probably room for half of me, because I want to be close to them. Joey is old enough where he's young enough to sit on my lap, but he's probably old enough where he doesn't have to. But I tell you, every chance I get, I want that kid sitting on my lap. He's 4 and I still carry him everywhere.
That's cute.
I think that is about like that need, that physical closeness is so, it just feels so good to me. I really like it. And that comes back to that. While this is about romantic relationships, it probably expands far beyond our romantic relationships, how we use this, express this.
Well, you're showing them you love them. That is a very clear way for you to express to them that you love them. This is not necessarily even about you experiencing the touch or feeling like it's something fulfilled in you. That is a way you are expressing it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Tom took this with me, and his is physical touch. So often couples don't have the same love language. That's pretty common. But his is physical touch too.
Wow.
So it's so easy to be around him, to feel good. I mean, he will touch my hair, or if we're, yesterday we were at the Pumpkin Patch and he's off with one kid, I'm off somewhere else. And when he came by to find me, he just put his hand on my shoulder for a second. So it's just small gestures like that. It does not mean that you are grossing people out and making out at the Pumpkin Patch.
Please don't.
Not appropriate. It's just those small moments of connecting physically that are important to me.
Absolutely.
Right. Erin, what was your highest?
I am acts of service.
Okay.
Do shit for me. That is really what it comes down to.
I thought you said douche.
Do shit for me.
I did.
Do shit.
I need.
Do shit for me.
Ew. You guys have even grossed me out on that one.
You took it to a whole new level.
And it was Heather who is now turning bright red.
I was so confused.
Do shit for you?
Yeah, no.
So confused for a minute.
No.
You said it so fast. You said, do shit for me.
Me.
Not do shit.
No. I tend to talk fast and my words run together, and there's a lot of confusion in my life. And I'm now seeing why. And
God,
Heather
I've
is
got such a visual.
jeez.
Ben, I'm so
Burned
sorry.
that into your eyeballs. No, sorry about that. No.
Okey-dokey.
When things are done for me, I feel loved. So anybody willing to help me out. And I think that is also, unfortunately, probably a hard thing for me because I don't ask for help very often. So it is difficult for people to help because I usually am not offering that up. I do all of my things by myself.
You're a doer.
I am a doer. And because I'm a do shit for me.
You do it for
me. No.
That's good.
Ew. Yeah, mine's definitely acts of service, and that's a higher one for me. It's a pretty big distinction between that and my next one.
What's Ben's?
Ben's is words of affirmation. He needs to hear from me regularly that I love him, that I appreciate him, that I recognize his hard work. So nagging is probably one of the worst things I can do for him. Reminding him of things that he hasn't done or isn't doing is very detrimental. And yeah, that is something I need to work on regularly. So I love you, Ben. Amy. What's yours?
My number one is quality time. And there is nothing more beautiful to me or says that I love you more than just hanging out together, and
Deep conversations.
deep conversations are my jam, no matter what. I can't stand small talk. I can't stand
Meeting new people.
I can't stand people. But if I do love you, then I want nothing more than just to get straight to tell me your thoughts on the meaning of life.
Yeah.
And do you believe in a heaven and a hell?
Deep
And
conversations.
do you think there are aliens? And what's your deepest fear?
Tell me about what you dreamed about last night.
Yeah, let's talk about what you
And
dreamed
how did
about.
it make you feel?
Yeah, I love that stuff. But okay, I don't even need that. But I do appreciate, like when Chip and I are together, it is important to me that he's paying attention.
Yeah.
If I'm trying to tell a story and I see him glancing at the TV, whoop, I shut down.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, you're clearly not paying attention. You clearly don't love me.
Yes.
Goodbye. Or if, he's looking on his phone while we're
phone.
sitting at dinner or something like that. That
Just
just,
frickin' phone, man.
I know.
that it feels to me like I would rather be doing something else.
Yep.
I don't want to be with you is what it feels like.
Yeah.
Which essentially, I guess somewhere even deeper feels like I don't love you. I guess that distractibility, that not paying attention, that not engaging, it just feels real disrespectful and very hurtful to me. So,
Yeah.
Take
I get
note,
that same
sisters.
It's right. No, I get that same that you're not worth my time is the feeling I get
Yeah.
from that, because that happens to be my second one.
Right.
Quality time is your number 2, Aaron.
Quality time is my number 2.
And your number 1 is quality time. What is your number 2?
Let's see. Words of affirmation. So just words and time. Time and words. Words and times together are
Quality time and physical touch were almost tied for me.
Really?
They're only one number apart. So I got an 11 for physical touch and a 10 for... Isn't 12 the highest you can score on one of these?
I
think it is.
I think it is.
Well, I got an 11. I'm like a man. I need to
No, you're
touched all the
not.
time.
I don't think that's
That
just a
is-
man
I'm just
thing.
joking.
I don't think it is, because that is
Physical
what makes,
touch is low for Ben. It's a lower
I'm
one
just
for him.
teasing.
well, physical touch is what makes our intimate relationships so special and sacred, is that you don't go around just putting your hands on other people or, people have different levels
No, it's true.
of comfort with like hugs and touch.
Yeah.
And, I'm a hands-off kind of person for the most part.
Yeah.
But that's what makes your partner relationship so special, is that is open, that's allowed, that's preferred, that's asked for.
Ben's family is a no-touch kind of family, and I come from a high-touch kind of family. Everyone is hugging and all in. And when Ben and I have been together 21 years. 21 years. That's a long time to know somebody. And his dad still, if I go in to hug him, number one, he tenses up immediately. And then he pats me on the back like he's burping me. It is so horrible. The nip and pat is so annoying to me because it's not like this gentle little, we're here.
Does he know you feel this way?
Oh, yes.
Okay, you guys openly joke about this.
I will openly say, and here comes the pat. Like, it is a hard, almost like, please let me go kind of hit. And I've just kind of gotten used to it now. And so there are times where I'll walk by him and just kind of squeeze him on the arm, like, bye. And that's my way of
Is
being
that
able
preferred to him?
I think it makes him feel a lot less awkward.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah. And even when the children, like, I'll say, okay, go say bye to grandma and grandpa. And his dad's reaction, I don't say go hug them. I don't say go kiss them. I don't go that far. I'm not going to tell my children what they have to do in any way. But you do have to show some respect and say goodbye. And I'll say, go say goodbye. And if Rick is standing in any way behind something, if there is a chair in front of him and one of the children's approaching him, he's like, you don't have to cross it. It's okay. It's like, they're just coming to say goodbye. But I think that's a strong, hard boundary for him that you don't have to do that.
And I think that's okay. We all can have different levels of comfort with touching.
That is just how his family is. And his dad is one of 6 boys. So all of them are that way. All 6 men will just give you that good solid burping.
That's interesting.
Whenever you see them.
So even though physical touch is it is my highest one, obviously, I do not like to touch strangers. I don't even like to shake hands. Oh. I try very hard to not shake hands. And I often rely on women don't always have to shake men's hand by protocol. So I often will just hold my hands down and nod.
Stick them in your back pockets.
Offer it as a
little limp.
You may kiss my hand.
You may kiss my hand.
Should you choose? No, I try to avoid it.
Finger. And
So I don't like to touch strangers.
Okay.
Just for the record.
Okay. So when we're introducing Heather at a party, don't be
I will
give her a hug.
I wave sometimes.
Hi. It's nice to meet you. I totally know what you're talking about.
I don't want to touch people.
No.
We don't know where those hands have been.
I don't necessarily hug a stranger immediately, but if you were standing a foot away from me and you waved to me, I would be like,
I do that.
Well, that's different.
I do that on the regular.
That's hilarious. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. No, I'm a hugger. Always have been.
Well, Chip's top one by a mile was physical touch also.
Really?
And that was lower for me. So that is...
Chip's a hugger.
He doesn't hug me. That's okay.
I think he feels your vibes. He's like, every time Heather walks in the house, both hands go up and she just starts waving.
It's cool. It is totally fine. I do feel like my bubble is pretty broad for...
That's okay.
I have limited hugging.
I think you give
And again, you guys, this is for your romantic relationship.
It is.
That is what this test
is.
is for, is your romantic relationship.
It is.
So,
But
and I was
again, I think
talking-
it's sometimes it's just a way of showing somebody, hey, we're friends. That's it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I do.
And I was talking about my children, and that's another intimate relationship.
Absolutely.
It's obviously not a
there is
romantic
one.
relationship,
There is
but
one
it's
on here though.
for children.
For kids.
Yeah, 5 love languages for kids. So if you want to learn more about, isn't it?
It's right next to the one on this website.
But
There are
it's
2
for-
options
it's
of is
made
this
for children.
adults
Yeah.
and it's made for a parent and a
Right.
child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think intimate is is a word that can be misused. I mean that as a very close, important
That's right.
relationship.
That's what I mean when I'm saying intimate relationships too. This is somebody like in your family or in that very sacred space.
Yeah.
Where,
Yes. That's the right word. Sacred.
All right. What else about this?
I love it. I think it's and my lowest is gift giving. So I'm not a 0. Unlike our Heather over here.
I just, for the record, Tom, I do like gifts occasionally.
She can experience love through gifts. She just doesn't give it that way.
Well,
at
you
all.
know what that means for me? Receiving gifts is my lowest also.
Yeah.
But it taps into my quality time needs. If somebody brings me a gift and I can tell that they put time and thought and effort into it, or, you know, if Chip goes on a business trip without me and he comes back and has brought me something, that's a sign like he was thinking of me even when he was away.
Yep.
Yes.
It fills up that need in me that he was thinking of me.
Absolutely. Or gifts that are specifically for time, like tickets to plays, for
Yeah,
example.
yeah.
Those are really great gifts.
Well, and that's a quality time one then too. So that would be, you know, really key for Amy there, because I think that's one of those ones that it's like, not only am I giving you something, but I'm giving you a gift of my time. We have scheduled it. It is here. I am yours. And
That is
that's
so
huge.
meaningful.
Yeah, I
Whereas
like
if
that
I got
too.
like a tennis bracelet or something like that,
Thanks.
thing, I don't know, that wouldn't touch my heartstrings. I
Yeah.
would appreciate it. I would wear it. But just to me, that doesn't pack as much of a punch
Yeah.
as other.
Aaron,
as
what
my
was
time.
your lowest one?
My lowest is gifts.
All of
and
us
then
are gifts for our lowest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gifts is my lowest. And I have a family member that it's her highest and she hates it. She makes it in her mind, she's materialistic because of that. And so I was asking her more about that. And I said, does it have to be expensive gifts? And she's like, oh gosh, no. So I said, so that's the difference between the materialistic versus the non, is that it isn't. So then she goes, well, but I like expensive gifts. And I'm like, we all do. Stop it.
It's
but,
true.
Yeah. But it was just funny to me that she hates that is her number one.
None of these things are good or bad on their own.
No, I just think in her mind that, especially when you read them and you hear some of them and what that means, that is her top one, that just rubs her the wrong way. And it shouldn't. You are wonderful. But no, that one's my least. And then physical touch is my next lowest one. But physical touch, I've realized it's valuable to me. It's just not more valuable than other things. But oh my gosh, when Ben plays with my hair or my children, like when they're like, oh, we want to braid your hair. I'm like, oh, I'm yours. I will do anything you tell me to do, because it is so soothing and relaxing. And so I try to do exactly what you said, Heather. Like there are times where I can tell that with Olivia, that means nothing to her. It just doesn't. So Claire wants to come and snuggle with me and she wants to sit on my lap and she wants me. I will ask. Olivia has this gorgeous long blonde hair and I'm always like, you want me to do your hair? And she's like, nope, ponytail. Like, quit wasting my time. This is ridiculous. And so I think sometimes I almost try and push that on her, that it's like, but I want you to know how special this is, or that I want to spend some time with you. And to her, quality time, I know is hers. Like that one. We have not taken this test. In fact, I should do it with both of them, but I can tell you right up front that is her. If I say, do you want to play a game? Oh, she is in 100%. If we're in the car, one of her favorite things is, can we play 20 questions? Because she wants you to interact.
Yeah. That is fun. I do love games.
Yeah.
I do love a game
Quality
night.
time.
Yep.
Game nights are good.
Getting everybody around the table and laughing and telling stories and stuff like that. That is so fun for me.
Yeah.
As opposed to just sitting and staring at the TV and watching a game or something.
I agree.
Yeah.
Watching a game versus playing a game.
So everybody tell us your favorite games to play with your family.
Yeah. What's a good game to play?
Ooh.
A game to get people talking and interacting and laughing.
Yeah. We need a good game night.
Yeah.
Give us some ideas. I think the one we haven't hit on very much, I know we've hit on words of affirmation, acts of kindness,
Acts of service.
acts of service. Thank you.
I think we
No,
got
I
them
think
all.
we've hit on all of them. And words of affirmation we haven't done. I just know, like for Ben, it's a very big deal for him. If I'll put a Post-it on his desk in the morning that just says something like, have a great day, or I know you'll do amazing things today. Just random little things like that. That is a big deal for him. And I will say to him on a regular basis things like, you never check in with me during the day. Everything's, anytime I leave a note, he always sends me something. There is always a reaction to it of thank you so much for my note or something like that. Now, he doesn't keep them, nor do I expect him to. It's a frickin' Post-it. But I know that means a lot to him. So I try very hard to do that and frickin' finding the balance because mine again is the X. So I want him to do things. So when he doesn't do things, that's when my nag comes out. She's ugly.
Do you want him to do shit?
I want him to do shit. I hate you so much. Damn it. No, I want him
I
to.
want to make you like I don't know, a plaque or a shirt that says
A little pillow.
Do shit.
Just set it on the little couch downstairs. People will be like, we were over at the Niffins. It was weird.
Weird.
Yeah. She has this pillow. Yeah. Or a t-shirt. It should be on like a nightgown.
All right,
But
sorry.
yeah, so that's that balance. And I have to find it regularly because Ben, unfortunately, is infamous, God bless him, for telling me he will do something and then not doing it.
Oops.
Yeah. And that is that's probably the worst thing you can do for me. That right there telling me that I am not worth that. And I've told him that. Don't even offer to do it if you're not going to. Surprise me and do it if you want to, but don't tell me that you are going to do something and then not do it, because that is a slap in the face. And so I've also, as a defense mechanism, sometimes just not asked him to do things because, and again, I think that's a lot of the times, not even just with Ben, but in general, why I don't ask for help with a lot of things. Because if it doesn't get done, I'm hurt. There is a bigger thing than just this stupid thing didn't get done. It's that I'm not worthy of that. And so, yeah, it goes deeper.
Yep.
It goes deeper there. Little too real. Anyways, so
The test itself, though, is free. It's fun. It's quick. It's enlightening. If you're in a romantic relationship, or if you're struggling, if you're like, where are we going wrong? I love this person. I know this person loves me. Why do we keep having struggles? Try this. I think if for nothing else, it's a really good conversation to get your communication started in a way that's non-threatening, and just to learn more about each other. And if your relationship is really strong and you're doing great, I still think this is fun and can make you see ways to take it even to the next level, which is pretty cool. So
Yeah, it is.
And I think this one has the potential for changing over time as you are getting older and as your relationship is changing. If you are an empty nester now, things like that, retake it, because I think you might notice some differences. They might be subtle, but I think you'll notice some differences.
it's possible.
It's possible.
Keep taking it. I don't know. This isn't sponsored. Take it once, take it
Yeah,
twice. Don't
exactly.
take it.
We
I
don't
don't
care.
really care,
It's
but we
free.
like it.
Yeah, take it as many times as you want. But
But what do we have out there, folks? Do we have a lot of people that need quality time? Do we have a lot of touchers? Do we have people that need to?
I'm curious, male versus female. Like, are men higher on the spectrum with certain ones than women? Because Heather was saying I'm a man when she was talking about physical, and I don't think, I'm curious what that difference is. So, yeah.
Tell us your scores. Tell us your greatest game night recommendations. What else? Do we need anything else from the
think
people?
those seem like good ones.
I like those ones.
Those are good ones.
Yeah.
Well, we've had some good quality time together.
What's some good ways that you can show your partner whichever one they like the most? Keep it, well, whatever. I was going to say keep it PG, but we're talking about douche, so whatever.
Yeah. You don't have to keep it PG.
You don't have
Amy's
to.
gotten her quality time here. I'm going to pat Heather. There we go.
And
Thank you.
Oh, we got to do an act of service for you.
No, we're good. We're here. You showed up. Thank you.
Oh, we
Done.
did show up.
Yep,
We
I'm
showed up for Aaron.
Feeling the love.
We had a conversation for me. Heather.
Heather got a
Hug
pat
from across the
on
room.
the knee. I won't shake your hand.
It's okay. Quality time is real high on mine too.
Good. There we go.
Good.
All right.
We're all filled up. Thanks for
Tom can touch me later.
And we'll leave it at that.
We should have cut it 5 seconds earlier. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Until next time.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba